time. What did I say? 5 minutes for each piece, right?
That's for you.
No, that's for you. It's for your benefit, so you're not wasting time, right? Stop yourself at the end of 5 minutes and say, what did I do? Then try again in 5 minutes, and you'll do more. But you need a limit. You need to sort of like, to be efficient about this, you need to train yourself with timing and say, I know I have to do all of those steps. I know I have to make the form completely in 5 minutes. What am I doing that's holding me back from completing the task in 5 minutes? Where am I stalling out? What have I forgotten? What am I overdoing? Here, when you have this much clay, you have to open differently. So I'm pushing with the left hand palm here on the rim, and my thumb is down here towards the base, and my right hand's over. And then I bend those fingers and lift them up. And I have this beautiful curve inside, the same beautiful curve that my thumbs could have made with a smaller bit of clay. But I don't want to wear out the joint of my thumb, so I'm using the whole hand. And then this is a lot of clay to move, so I'm going to use a sponge in my outside hand to give me some power and really move the clay up. And then I'll drop the sponge and use my fingers. There's an air bubble, I can feel it. You can see it too, right? One part of that room is higher than another part. So let's see if we can get that air bubble trimmed out of there. Maybe that did it. But now I've lost some of my mass, so my volume will be slightly diminished in scale. Who watches YouTube here? Mm-hmm. This looks different than YouTube, huh? YouTube, they say go like this. They say put your finger like this, down here, right? And push against your finger, right? They don't say go like this. Right? I'm giving you the advantage of the full surface area of the 4 fingers and 1 thumb on this hand. I'm not asking you to do this with 1 joint of your index finger. Right? That's a disadvantage that YouTube would like you to believe is workable. I don't think it is. You can pull and pull and pull to your heart's desire, right? You can keep pulling this, and it's going to get floppier and looser and you know, less centered and all of that. And if that starts happening to you, take your wooden rib and use that on the outside, right? Use the wooden rib on the outside. Push the clay into the wooden rib, and the wooden rib will add structure by being a block against which the clay has to stop moving. Right? Doing that on the outside first, and then coming to the inside with the rib will help you to put it back on center and make it an even wall thickness and keep the shape more symmetrical. That's being efficient, right? With this process. And that's all this process is, right? It's just an efficiency. It's not going to determine what you're making. You determine what you're making using the process of, you know, moving your hands on a rotating mass of clay is efficient. But you have to know how to move. Maybe that'll go over my head, right? Maybe I'll have a more beautiful haircut, you know, by cutting against this guide. You'll see me on Monday. Right? I'm not going to use this one. I'll use another one at home. I hope I don't look like a monkey. Right, but you choose the surface too, right? I tend to like, you know, the path of my fingers gliding over the surface and showing me where I move the clay. There's sort of a standard that we can apply here that's efficient and say, if you can move the clay and you're moving your fingers in relation to the speed of the wheel, such that your fingers leave a pattern in the wet clay that registers to the spacing of your fingers when your fingers are not moving, then you've been efficient at moving your hand with the speed of the wheel. Okay? Closer together means you're moving too slow. Further apart means you're moving too fast. All of this stuff has very, very little to do with art, right? This is more about a technique. This is like a mechanical process almost that you are learning and being able to adapt, right? According to what it is you want to do, right? And what it is you want to do is art, right? You're trying to make art. You're trying to express something. What I'm asking you to express is a portion of a sphere. Again, a portion of a sphere. Right? In this case, it's a hemisphere. When we talked about the plates, it was less than a hemisphere. It was maybe a tenth of a sphere or a 20th of a sphere. In this case, it's a half of a sphere. Now, this is what I don't want you to make.